Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Shalette Renee Griffin. I'm the founder of Williams Hope Publishing. I'm a Gen X speculative fiction writer who write about systems that suppress the African American voice and the African American community. This channel focuses on Black writers who use the art of dystopian fiction to protest systems that suppress the African American community and way of life. So if that sounds great to you, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Today, I want to talk about a problem within the writing community that's being debated. And this issue was actually posted on LinkedIn. It wasn't the first time that I heard about it, but now I'm feeling compelled pretty much to talk about it because this problem pretty much will impact Black writers more so than our white counterparts. So, right now, writers are intentionally making their work worse. They're leaving typos in, breaking grammars on purpose, basically dumbing down their sentences. Not because they don't know better, because they're trying to prove something. They're trying to prove that they're human. And I need you to hear me clearly. You do not need to prove your humanity by weakening your work. Let's talk about that for a second. So let's be honest about the moment we're in. AI is everywhere, and people are suspicious. An accusation travels fast. All it takes is one comment. That sounds like AI. And all of a sudden, your credibility is on trial. So writers are adapting, not by getting stronger in their voice, but by making their work messier. Because somewhere along the way, we started believing a lie. If it sounds too good, it must not be human. And that lie, folks, is doing some real damage right now in the writing community. And we need to stop it. So let's talk about why it's a bad idea to intentionally sabotage your work, what I call writing messy. Your reputation is on the line as a writer. Every sentence teaches your reader how to respect you as a writer and for the writer to take you and your work seriously. And when you intentionally lower the quality of work, you're not protecting yourself. In fact, you're showing your readers to expect less from you as a writer. And that matters whether you are writing a book, you're trying to establish yourself on a platform, because you cannot build a powerful voice on weakened language, period. You can't do it. And this is why, for Black writers, we have to sit this one out. There is no way that Black writers can intentionally sabotage their work and still have a reader or audience say, oh, their work is AI because it's so perfect. No, Black writers already is in a space where our intelligence is challenged. Our work is already challenged. I would rather be accused of using AI than having a reader question my credibility or my intellect as a writer. So for Black folks, Black writers, we need to sit this one out. So please don't sabotage your work. Don't sabotage your brilliance to make other folks comfortable. That's not our job. That's not our lane. We keep doing what we're doing. We write for excellence. So for Black writers, we prove our humanity not by leaving typos in our work. We prove our humanity through our perspective. We prove our humanity by our specific experiences that we write about. That's how we prove our humanity. We don't do that by making mistakes. We prove our humanity by telling stories that only you can tell as an African American writer. We tell stories that AI can't. The emotion, the way your characters behave, those are the elements that make us human. Your unique voice, You have a unique, what I call marker, writers do. When you can pick up a Toni Morrison book, she has her own style. That is what is going to make you unique, your own style, not by leaving typos and making your work messy to prove that you're human. That's crap. We prove our humanity through our work, through our experiences, our lived experiences. That will prove you as a human being. So don't take that messy AI route. That's not us. We're all about excellence. And here's the thing. So let's just say someone accused your work of AI. And if you know that your work wasn't, you didn't use AI in your work, or whatever the accusation, whatever the accusation is, you defend your work. That's what you do. Whether it's drafts, and it really depends who it is, but if it's someone of importance, or, a publishing house or whatever, you have your drafts and stuff, to show that, this is, I was the original creator, blah, 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 blah. But if anybody accuses you of AI, you defend your work. That's first and foremost. You just defend it. You don't dummy down your work because you don't want to be accused, and that accusation is so scary that I'm just going to dummy down my work so I don't even get asked that question. That's a cop out too, because you don't cower down to just weak, accusations. We don't do that. As writers, we're about excellence. And for Black writers, going the route of sabotaging your work is a no-no. It's non-negotiable. We can't do that, because, as I said earlier, it's best to be accused. It's best of your work being accused of AI than a reader accusing you as a writer as not having the intellect or producing quality work. Because I'm telling you, we're not going to get the grace for someone to say, "Oh, your work is so perfect that, oh, you're using AI." No, what we're going to get is, when we dummy down our work, it's going to be of, "Oh, this person is a writer. Look at all these mistakes." They're not going to say that, "Oh, it was oh, that person dummied down their work because they don't be accusing AI." No, we're not going to get that. So again, you defend your work, and you specifically write from a unique perspective that only you can write as a writer. That's hands down. That's the only way we're gonna do it, because dummying down our work, that's not for us. That's not gonna work out great for us as writers. And so I just encourage all Black writers, you keep doing what you're doing. Don't intentionally sabotage your work, because the world needs to see your work. And when you dummy it down, we can't see, or the audience can't really feel, who you are as a writer, or really hear the story that you're trying to tell, because you sabotaged it. All right? So we're not going to do that. We're going to sit this one out. So happy writing, and as I said, if you gotta defend it, defend it. But we're not gonna pretty much shade our brilliance to make these folks comfortable. Not today, not tomorrow, never. So as I said previously, for Black writers to intentionally sabotage their work, that's not going to work well for us as Black writers, because we are already facing challenges about our work anyway. We are always trying to defend our own brilliance anyway. And so, by us intentionally sabotaging our work to make it look like, we're human, we're not going to get the grace. We're not going to get that excuse that this Black writer is dumbing down their work because they want to sound like AI. We're not going to get that. The white writers may get that, but not a Black writer. The black writer is going to be accused of not knowing grammar rules. They're going to be accused of just us being ignorant and not knowing how to produce quality literary works. So it's my argument that black writers cannot dummy down their work. Black writers cannot sabotage their own work because they don't want to be accused of using AI. In fact, black writers would rather should, you know, take the argument of being accused of using AI because you can defend that. But you can't defend typos. That's going to be a direct attack on your character, on your reputation, on you as a writer. That's going to be harder to defend than a writer, being accused of using AI. All right? So, we're just going to defend our work. We're going to keep producing excellence because that's how we do. So, that's my take. And I wish you all happy writing. And again, we're going to sit this one out because we don't dummy down our work. We are all about excellence.